It doesn't take a genius to recognize that all this questionable behavior we've seen on social media should give light as to what has been going on around R. Kelly. So it should be no surprise that, of course, people are still trying to take care of business, sort of say. But the biggest thing that I have been pointing out to my audience is that if these people had been taking care of business the correct way, I don't feel R. Kelly would be in the situation he is in today. And even now, people are still more focused on his music than him as a person. What if he had a real team behind him and they shut down all these allegations long ago? What if he had a real team behind him and, hypothetically speaking, these girls that made these settlements were issued gag orders to stop spinning these same stories? There's so many things that could have been done professionally to help R. Kelly. Yet, as we see, people just want to focus on the music. Now, as I've said, his music is great. He is an incredible artist. But people need to recognize R. Kelly versus Robert. Those are two different entities. And they have publicly assassinated R. Kelly. So it's time that we continue to breathe life into Robert, because it's clear people with these inside sources are providing janky ass information. They're moving very funny, and then they're over offensive when people point out that what they're doing makes no sense. All I know is the same individuals that were supposed to be handling business also have been implicated in a lot of fraudulent activity. Is it a coincidence that these same individuals have landed themselves in his current indictments? All this stuff played out right before our eyes, and nobody was worried about taking care of business professionally. Why are we supposed to sit here and just continue to keep quiet and pacify those people as they continue to make these side deals that we don't know if R. Kelly approved of? It should be simple. If these people are in contact with this man's attorneys, why can't they get him just as equally to just send a simple tweet that R. Kelly is aware people are trying to distribute his music? Simple, right? No. Like I've said since last year, all these people are suspect. This music has a whole lot of eyes on it right now. And I just feel like people are to open their eyes and ask more questions. This isn't to point the finger and toss the blame around. This is just to wake up those people that aren't reading these indictments to see that other people that have come giving you these elaborate stories are full of shit. And the sooner you recognize that, you need to either A, ride for them, or recognize that what you're doing is not riding for Robert Kelly.
Live to you. Facebook, live to you. Radio, live to you. Radio, fuck you.
Because y'all could never do nothing as men while that man was there, because he treated y'all like shit. Let's talk about how many of y'all he owed money to right now that he played with y'all till he all the way till he went to prison. Because I do remember, Don, you crying on Christmas when he got that bonus money, and you was talking about how you was getting ready to leave him. You fuck this, you ready to tell it all, and this and that, and because he wouldn't pay you, because he went and took his, what he called himself, called it the family. He took the family shopping for Christmas and ain't pay you your money. You was sitting there broke as a joke, sitting there crying about a man that didn't pay your money, and you ain't had a heart to say nothing. And then when he paid you, you was like a little girl to the companion you was on the phone with. Oh, he got my money, everything good. I can go do this now like a kid. Dude, you don't want to play with me, bro. They facts. They in emails, they in text messages. You tell me how you want it to be posted. And this ain't none of that fake shit that they run around the internet.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off, we kept that shit going. We got bus drivers, we got police officers, we got assistants, we got friends, we got people to lie, we got the storage, we got motherfucking video audio.
We got people like Me Too Movement who played the role to get a part of a goddamn TV series to be their name affiliated with it, and I ain't get a phone call. Neither did you from Tanya Burks. So let's stop making people fool. And I'm not saying that about anybody because not the nation, because I know Minister Farrakhan, you know, he definitely spoke. I think he had a private meeting with him. Nobody really know what the depths of the meeting went, but I know he did have a meeting with him. But these other ones that was a part of Lifetime and all this shit, we need them. We need them to step up and them to act like they plan a platform. All we do is plan on each other as black people. That's it. For fame and fortune. That's it.
I want to say this, Lo, and I don't mean to cut you off. I got to say this. I got to say it. I see who Tasha Unwine on here. Tell you what I'm going to say to you right now. Right now. You got a big platform. I really need for you to hear me clearly. I need everyone who said what happened on that Lifetime documentary, hold them accountable. Hold Lifetime accountable. Hold Bloom and Mary accountable. Hold these people accountable to make sure these people can go on Lifetime and say what they said happened. All these people accountable, make sure they talk to Kim Fox. Make sure they talk to Carl Howard. Make sure they talk to Homeland Security. What is going on with Mr. Clarence?
So you can go on with your Team True and his Team Lies. Your daughter was there a whole year before we even knew about what was going on with my daughter.
That's
and
absolutely
you didn't
correct.
do anything.
R. Kelly is fighting back after he lost a civil lawsuit by default earlier this week. He was expected in Cook County Circuit Court, but pulled a no-show. According to TMZ, his legal counsel says that he was simply overwhelmed by his mounting legal issues and didn't know how to proceed. Now, his attorney is attempting to combat the loss. Kelly was sued by Chicago resident Heather Williams in February after she claimed he sexually abused her when she was only 16, and has pleaded not guilty. Williams' attorney, Jeffrey, attempted to settle out of court, but received no response to the legal letter. Williams said she also tried serving Kelly at Trump Tower, but couldn't get through security. Finally, she was able to serve him while he was in jail for unpaid child support earlier this year. Kelly's civil attorney, Brian Nix, explained R. Kelly was served while incarcerated on the child support case, and he was overwhelmed by the experience of being in jail. Williams won a default judgment against Kelly when he failed to show up.
At this point, people like me have made our positions very clear. If it had not been for surviving R. Kelly, there more than likely would not have been this federal investigation upon R. Kelly and this pile on of charges to keep him dispositioned. It's very clear that people within his camp failed to protect his brand and do as they said in the beginning, which was to sue Lifetime should they air this series. But as all this time has passed and we've nothing but bullshit come from so-called inside sources, the picture should be very clear for you all now. Because right after surviving R. Kelly, right after they solicited the victims in which they knew were going to be coming from these docuseries, right after all this happened, when this man was incarcerated, he was also civilly served a subpoena for court. Then you had this attorney come out and pretty much say that that was pretty much small on the to-do list. Then we got reports that it was a no-show. And all this funny stuff started to happen, but I believe all this was intentional. The same way they failed to address Lifetime properly, the same way they stirred the pot with some of these accusers, the same way these agitators have come to these platforms to continue to provide misinformation should set the stage to what we are seeing.
Lord, please forgive me how I'm living. I was born